Have you ever felt betrayed by the people you trusted most? Imagine this. You marry the woman you thought was the love of your life. You build a future together, share dreams, hopes, and everything in between. But what happens when the person closest to you, the one you think would always have your back, turns out to be the one who shatters everything? I never expected my life to fall apart this way. A cheating wife is already painful enough. But when her mother got involved, that's when everything came crashing down. What started as a simple betrayal became a full-blown war, one where the love I had once built crumbled under the weight of secrets, lies, and one decision that changed everything. This is a story of heartbreak, betrayal, and revenge. So stay with me as I take you through the emotional roller coaster that led me to the truth, and the moment I finally found the strength to walk away. I've noticed only 98% of you who watch haven't subscribed. Come on, guys, show some love and support. Thanks a bunch to those who have already subscribed. It all started innocently enough. My wife Sarah and I had been married for 5 years. We were a typical couple, or at least, that's what I thought. We had our ups and downs like any marriage, but we always managed to make it through. I believed in her, trusted her with my heart and soul. But one day I found a message on her phone, one that would change everything. It was from someone I didn't know. It wasn't just a friendly conversation. It was flirtatious, intimate, and more than a little suggestive. My heart sank. I didn't want to believe it, but I had to know the truth. So I confronted her. The lies came quickly. "It's nothing," she said. "You're overreacting." But I knew something was off. I pressed her, and after hours of back and forth, she finally admitted it. She had been seeing someone else. Not just once, not a fleeting mistake, but for months. And the worst part? She told me her mother knew about it. Her mother had been covering for her, even going so far as to lie to my face when I asked her directly about it. I didn't know how to react at first. Shock, anger, confusion. I was overwhelmed by it all. But what hurt the most was that this wasn't just about Sarah's betrayal anymore. It was about her mother, the woman who I had respected, who I had called family, playing a direct role in destroying my marriage. The more I thought about it, the angrier I became. This wasn't just a mistake. This wasn't just a secret affair. It was a conspiracy. A mother protecting her daughter at all costs, even if it meant destroying the life of an innocent man. I needed answers, but every time I tried to confront Sarah's mother, she had an excuse. "I was just trying to protect my daughter," she'd say. She didn't know what she was doing. But deep down, I knew she was protecting her own reputation and interests, not her daughter's well-being. As the days passed, I tried to salvage the remnants of my marriage. I wanted to believe that maybe we could work through this, that maybe Sarah would finally see the error of her ways, and that we could rebuild. But the more I tried, the more I realized I was fighting an uphill battle. Every time I spoke to Sarah, she seemed more distant, less apologetic, and more defensive. Her mother, too, was there, adding fuel to the fire, constantly telling me to forgive and forget, as if it were that simple. It was during one of these arguments that I lost control. I confronted Sarah about her relationship with her mother. Why hadn't she ever been honest with me? Why hadn't she taken a stand for our marriage? Sarah's answer left me speechless. "My mother was right. You were too controlling. She said you'd never understand. You always thought everything was perfect, but it wasn't." And that's when the truth hit me. This wasn't just about an affair. It was about Sarah's need for validation, for someone to tell her she was doing the right thing. And her mother had stepped in, not to protect her, but to push her further into a life of lies. I couldn't take it anymore. The woman I had loved, the woman I had promised to spend my life with, was gone. She wasn't just cheating on me, she was emotionally abandoning me, with her mother egging her on every step of the way. The final straw came when I overheard a conversation between Sarah and her mother. They were laughing, reminiscing about how they had fooled me for so long. It was as if I were just a pawn in their game, a man too naive to see the truth. The betrayal cut deeper than any affair could. I realized that my love for Sarah wasn't enough anymore. Not when her mother was constantly undermining me. Not when Sarah had let herself be guided by her instead of me. My trust, my belief in the love we had, was shattered beyond repair. In the end, I walked away. It wasn't easy. It wasn't an overnight decision. But I knew that staying in that toxic environment, surrounded by lies and manipulation, would only ruin me. I had to choose my own peace over the fractured remnants of a marriage that no longer existed. I filed for divorce, and despite my pain, I knew it was the right choice. Sarah tried to reach out, tried to make amends, but I had already moved on. I couldn't go back, not with the weight of everything her mother had done to our relationship. Looking back, I see things more clearly now. It wasn't just the affair that ruined my marriage. It was the manipulation, the lack of accountability, and the fact that Sarah's mother was always in the background, pulling strings, convincing her daughter that I wasn't good enough. But I learned something from it. In the end, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to know when enough is enough. And sometimes walking away is the only way to find your peace. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced something similar? Have you ever had to deal with betrayal in your own relationship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you won't miss any of our future videos. We have more stories, more lessons, and more real-life experiences to share, so make sure you stay connected.